So now that you know what this book contains, how radical and strange and possibly controversial it is, it's pretty legitimate to ask the question, how is this book actually received? What's the legacy of this book? Did anyone actually read this? Well, as we said, it was written in Syriac, and it seems that it is particularly with the Syriac-speaking audience that it was known and read, naturally, right? But its relationship with these Syriac churches has been complicated. In general, it has been more popular and used in the West Syriac tradition, so the Syriac Orthodox Church, etc., than in the Eastern Syriac tradition, like the Church of the East, sometimes known as the Nestorian Church. But even here, it has a complicated and controversial reception history. It seems that in the immediate aftermath of its composition, probably around the 6th century, it was quite controversial as a book. We saw earlier that people like Philoxenus and Jacob of Serug condemned the figure Stephen Barsovaili as essentially heretical, and early on the book of the Holy Hierotheos did become associated with Stephen. So that meant that it too was an expression of Stephen's heresy and thus a dangerous book. But at the same time, as Marr shows in his edition of the text, it also seems to have been in use quite diligently as a kind of mystic's guide for ascetic monks throughout the history of the West Syriac Church. And only 3 centuries later, in the 9th century, we see Theodosius, the patriarch of Antioch and the head of the Syriac Orthodox Church, compose a commentary on the text in which he seems to praise it and consider it an important mystical text, and, importantly, a legitimate work of the historical Hierotheos.